Welcome back, Guardians. Friday has come around, and so too with it has the mysterious one, Xur. Using some sources I have found online, I have found that Xur is lurking around the Watcher's grave. I make the assumption that Xur is up upon his favourite tree, watching over the Vex, the same Vex that encompasses Nessus. Upon landing on Nessus, we find ourselves in a Vex-constructed forest. If we head on straight, we should come across the tree we are looking for. When we look up on the tree, we can see the man himself. All that is left to do now is approach him. This week, Xur will be offering us the Queenbreaker. The Queenbreaker is an exotic linear fusion rifle, and I really love the design behind this one, but more on that later. First, we are going to test the Queenbreaker against two other really popular linear fusion rifles, and then see the results. The first of the other two linear fusion rifles we will be comparing is another exotic, the Arbalest. I reviewed the Arbalest last week, and it's back again this week for a strong comparison against the Queenbreaker. The two linear fusion rifles are very different, and this can be seen very quickly. The Arbalest, which also has anti-barrier rounds, is a primary weapon which uses special ammo. When you compare this to the Queenbreaker, the similarities beyond both being exotic linear fusion rifles, well, the similarities stop there. The Queenbreaker, which does not currently have any champion busting rounds, as mentioned before, is an arc heavy weapon. Going into the first encounter, we pull out the Queenbreaker and run a test on the first barrier of the Nightfall. The Queenbreaker had dealt over 63,000 damage on a critical shot here. Now let's compare that to the Arbalest. We can see that on the first barrier, the Arbalest had managed just over 30,000 damage on its first critical, and then just over 46,000 damage on its second critical. So we can see that the Queenbreaker is doing more damage. So now how about the Taipan? We can see that the Taipan was dealing over 56,000 damage on its first two critical shots, and then 46,000 damage on its last. That's really good, but it's still less than the 63,000 we'd managed to see when using the Queenbreaker. So we can now see that the Queenbreaker deals the most damage of the three linear fusions we are comparing today. So what are the drawbacks? Why will people choose the other two linear fusion rifles? Well, when we look at the Taipan, this weapon, although doing less damage, may do more damage in other places. As an example, when we add the firing line perk, you can gain an extra load of damage from nearby guardians. With a major or boss spec being added, the Taipan's damage can even overtake the Queenbreaker. It is also worth noting that the Taipan is not an exotic weapon. This would allow you to equip the Arbalest at the same time. And now this is one of the Arbalest advantages. The Arbalest is a primary weapon that only uses special ammo, so this means that you may still equip another powerful heavy weapon. A third advantage to the Arbalest is that the intrinsic anti-barrier rounds it comes with can save on a mod slot. This is very important when it comes to builds for later game content such as Grand Masters. I don't know if this is a permanent modifier for Nightfalls, but right now there is an acute arc damage for arc weapons, so this means the Queenbreaker is also receiving extra damage from the acute arc burn. These past few weeks this acute arc burn has always been active, so you're going to have to let me know if that's something that is permanently going to be active or if that is going to change at some point. But right now, the Queen Breaker is doing an extra bit of damage and it's down to acute arc burn. Going back to the comparison though, yes, the Queen Breaker is dealing the most damage in Nightfalls right now, but there are advantages to all three linear fusion rifles, and all three advantages are worth considering. Now then, to return to what I had said earlier about the Queen Breaker, its design is very similar to that of a Vandal's sniper rifle. Yes, that's right. Every time you've been one-bombed by a Vandal, you've been hit by the Queen Breaker. Well, at least a weapon that looks very similar to the Queen Breaker. They're not quite the same. The rest of the exotic weapons that he's got this week. We're looking at a 64 roll in the Hunter's Gauntlets with a peak in mobility, followed by a 65 roll in the Titan Gauntlets with an average peak across the board. The Hunter Gauntlets has a 63 roll with a peak in strength. All in all three rolls are quite decent, but I would say the Hunter Gauntlets are not worth getting due to the stat rolls landing in the wrong areas. Looking over on the second page, we can see the Hawk Moon. The Hawk Moon is rolled with Eye of the Storm and Texture Grip. And the Dead Man's Tail is rolling with Vorpal Weapon. Looking at the weapons we have, okay, we've got two bows. First is going to be Whispering Slav with Demolitionist, which I'm going to grab. That is a primary bow as opposed to the secondary bows, and it's a great for Warlock build because Demolitionist is a perk where you will regain your grenade energy upon getting damage with said weapon that's got Demolition perk. So starting off, we've got Whispering Slab with Killing Wind and Demolitionist, Wolf Tone Draw with Impulse, Amplifier and Dragonfly, not a bad bow itself. Dire Promise with Auto Loading Holster and Osmosis. E-Class SRVR 102. It's an okay sniper rifle, high impact reserve, so it'd be good in PvP. More damage on those last two shots, which you start with. And Feeding Frenzy, which Feeding Frenzy is a perk, I believe. Each rapid kill weapon progressively increases reload speed for a short period of time. So yeah, this is a good role for PvP because once you've killed somebody, you get special ammo off them. You pick up that special ammo, you reload fast after getting that kill, and then it's rinse and repeat of the high impact reserves do more damage because you only get 2 shots in PvP to start with. That's a given that you've got one special weapon. If you've got 2 special weapons in PvP, you're only going to get 1 shot, I believe. I could be wrong there though. Far Future, another sniper rifle, Surplus and Wellspring this week. Honor's Edge with Relentless Strikes and Engard. An Arc Sword, it's not the greatest. And Night Watch with Outlaw and Moving Target, another okay but not the greatest. I can't view what you would get as a Hunter or a Titan at this point in time because I only have a Warlock class, but if you're using a Warlock class you will get this set of armor. The rolls are not the greatest, however the legs once again this week have rolled quite decently. We seem to be getting a lot of decent rolls within the leg area of Warlocks recently. And that is everything that Xur has on him this week. If you are still here, thank you. It has been a journey experimenting with different types of format for this video. We started off with a little story format, and then we led into a more list-like format, and then at the end we tried a similar format to the last video. Please let me know what you liked and what you didn't like. It all helps me understand the type of content you want. And remember to leave a like and subscribe, and if you don't want to miss the next video, please hit the bell icon. I love you all. Peace.